if you're trying to build a business and you're building it on a blockchain where what it's going to cost you to run that application and what it's going to cost your users to transfer assets around is unknown, I think that's a very difficult thing to do. So I think as far as sort of existing applications, definitely I think we've tried to tailor what we have in a way that we think will be attractive. And I think, scalability and performance are important. We think decentralization is also very important as well. We see a lot of projects that have made decentralization compromises in order to achieve performance, and we don't feel that's the right way to go about it.
Well, let me start with the obvious, right? So somehow we are going to create together and the rest of the community all kinds of new assets, right? And the people will enjoy using them, owning them, and so on and so forth. But the first problem we're going to have is evaluating them, giving a value to these assets. And I really believe that USDC is going to play a major role in creating somehow a common reference system in which we actually, because everybody understands what the value of the dollar is, but it is going to be like, if you want, a flywheel in this very complicated mechanism. That said, then we have actually our particular use and reliance of USDC and stable coins. And if you promise don't to grill me before time, for instance, speaking of smart contracts that you believe and we agree that are really one of the major gifts of a blockchain, is going to be, we think that there should not be gas in our right. Smart contract, but we should use stable coins in order to somehow pay for the execution of this thing.
I think if you look at some of the key primitives that we brought into Layer 1, one is the ASA framework, so the ability to create assets in any form and manage them very flexibly. Atomic transfers are another, and Layer 1 smart contracts are another. So the ability to sort of execute anything that you need at the full speed of the chain. And I think that one of the priorities we've given is scalability, but not at the expense of either decentralization or security. And I think especially for financial applications, security is very important. And so when we look at, financial applications, we think they take, really a few different forms. One are, new emergent applications, especially in kind of DeFi area. We see USDC as, really the fuel behind, a lot of how those applications run. The second is, we're starting to see a lot of interesting activity in traditional finance and, also payments. And I think if you think about people starting to use crypto for more retail use cases, starting to use it at higher transactional velocity, they need both kind of a stable coin like USDC, but also a platform like Algorand that actually can and was designed from the beginning to scale to hundreds of millions or billions of users without changing the performance characteristics. And then ultimately we're seeing, I think, other forms of currency emerge. The Marshall Islands recently announced that they're launching their national currency on Algorand. So I think we're going to start to see more central bank digital currencies. We believe really strongly that a blockchain like Algorand, ultimately is a utility and should be a public utility that anybody can use. I think one of the, if you think back, today, if you think about like even just basic utilities that you have at your house, it's water, electricity, and probably used to be phone, but today it's internet, not phone anymore. We think the blockchain needs to move in that direction. And I think partnerships with projects like Center and Circle are really fundamental, because I think one of the big differences in the decentralized world is that we can't build all of the things that are needed for a healthy ecosystem ourselves. We need people to be going out and kind of moving forward in their own areas. And ultimately, that where we want to focus is on innovation and technology and building the right tools and the right frameworks so that great applications can come and deploy. And I think definitely stable assets like USDC are, critical importance.